Welcome to a very special episode of Sucio Talk. This will be known as the Shark Conqueror episode. Alright? So, as the world knows, Tyler Vorce and Jason Mckinney, co-founders of Truffle Shuffle SF out of Oakland, just have made a deal on Shark Tank with Mark Cuban. I'm super proud of these two really good friends of mine. People that have not stopped working ever, right, since they started. And I've known, Tyler a little bit longer than I know Jason. But upon meeting Jason, when Tyler introduced me, I already knew that Jason was somebody special because Tyler simply does not allow himself to be surrounded by people who are not ambitious and not forward thinkers. So I've always been very happy to be included. These guys called me the first day that they were going to make their pivot to do this virtual cooking demo. And they called me up and said, hey, you want to do a fun intro? I said, of course. And 45 minutes later, I was in Oakland, right, from Napa. We were in a pandemic. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. But I think I felt the magic in that room that day. I did not fathom how big this would actually get, but I knew we were on the track to something. And so I want to thank Truffle Shuffle for including me in all of the videos and content that we have created. We are going to start working together a little bit more. I have a spice lamb dish that I put together. Spice lamb, mom's rice, mom's medium grated rice, beautiful, with some slow roasted carrots. Very simple, but homey, delicious, unctuous. So tune in the 13th of June for that class. We're going to be broadcasting it live from a ranch in Wyoming. All right, so be there or be square on the 13th of June. You can log on to truffleshuffle.com and sf.com and sign up for this class. All right. I also did a podcast with Sarah Rundle during my time there filming the promo for the dish at the Truffle Shuffle headquarters on Douglas Avenue in Oakland. So we sat down and talked about her time at the French Laundry, at Benu. So she has a very cool trajectory in her career that we can all learn from. And it was truly one of the most honest talks we've had on Sucio Talk. So shout out to you, Sarah Rundle. And, Truffle Shuffle SF wouldn't be what it is today without her. And there's another member of the group, also Ian Rosentraut. He's the man. He's been grinding for Truffle Shuffle for quite a while now. And, last time I saw him, I was like, I didn't forget about you, baby. We got to do a podcast. He actually makes a cameo during this podcast. So this was recorded after almost an 18-hour day on the part of Truffle Shuffle, on the part of Tyler and Jason. So bear with us as we get a little loopy. But you get to find out the behind the scenes of Shark Tank, what they had to do to, make it to the level that they did, how they delivered their pitch, the mindset of a business owner when his business is growing faster than he ever accounted for. And truly an educational podcast in just the fact that, you know, Tyler and Jason, before Truffle Shuffle, never owned a business in their lives. And their very first business is on the way to becoming one of the most successful business models that we've ever seen, led by awesome people. I mean, when I was there, you know, we were playing music, we were having fun, but business was still being handled. And it was beautiful because it makes office work feel like you're in a kitchen. And I think that that's something that Tyler and Jason spend a lot of time on their culture. You know, Sarah and Ian as well. Making sure that everybody at Truffle Shuffle is happy. Because at the end of the day, happiness is what's going to give you the best performance out of your people. I can't express how excited I am for this company, for us, where we're going. I am the chef ambassador of Truffle Shuffle, officially. So you'll be hearing a lot more from me when it comes to them. And Sucio Talk will still be going on to spread the message of Truffle Shuffle SF, as well as all of the professionals that I have on the show, in hopes of giving people inspiration so they can put into action what they need to do to achieve their hopes and dreams. So without further ado, this episode has no number. This episode doesn't even need a name. I stole it, Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? But all I can say is watch with anticipation as my boys walk into the room, show what the passion of a chef is and can do when you put all your focus on a project and the positivity and building people around you. What can truly be achieved if you don't take no for an answer and never give up. And that's what Truffle Shuffle brings to the table. That's what I, David Sucio, bring to the table. And that's what Sucio Talk brings to the table. I'll see y'all.
Dude, the team loves you. Yeah, every time you roll in, people are like...
Welcome to Sucio Talk. This episode doesn't need a number. This is the Shark Tank. My best friends in the whole motherfucking world won the goddamn show. Shark Tank. How does it feel, Jason and Tyler?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Are we here right now on Sucio Talk?
You're here right now on Sucio Talk.
The only way I can explain it is...
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. You guys got your editing up since I last talked to you. Tyler, you were on the first podcast.
That's right.
Jason, you were on the third.
Primero Uno, baby.
And here we are. That was Primero Uno. That was, God, it almost feels like a year ago, but about a year ago, when you called me up and said, hey, Dave, we're making this cooking class. You want to do an intro? Exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. So I said, you know what? Let's fucking do it. Because I was sitting at home. It was like this pandemic. It's been 1 week. You know? We got to figure this out.
Fact.
And then that video sort of launched you guys into where you are today. So we detailed that in your podcast. Talked about, you know, how you guys went from zero business to a lot of business quick. And had to figure out logistic-wise how the fuck to package all that food and send it out on time, right? Yes. And talking to Petra, she was telling me a story about how you called her and was like, yo, you got any boxes? She was like,
did that.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to help him. You know?
Yo, that's because we literally got a call and we were like, yo, can we do 150 gnocchi kits? And the answer is yes. And then you figure out how to do it.
Exactly.
But the call came literally the day of. We're figuring out. So we started at ground zero with nothing, no ice packs, no boxes, no insulation, no nothing. And literally made it happen and got 150 packages out the door and into UPS's hands by 6 p.m.
There you go.
That shit was crazy.
And I'm sure you guys were like exhausted after that, but fucking kept going.
Ready for
right?
more.
So
It was also our first time even printing shipping labels at that caliber.
Dude, legitimately, because before that it was print one shipping label on an 8.5 by 11 and then fold it and then put it in the little insert.
Yeah.
We had no idea about thermal printers and all that.
And we would type in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out, like, how do we
mainstream this?
Because we got everything packaged up, right?
Yeah.
But then the UPS dude was at the door.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to print all these labels out.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Talk about something to be in the juice on.
Yeah.
The product is done. It's completely finished. You're ready to go. The UPS guy, literally, if he doesn't leave at 6 o'clock, they're not making the airplane.
Oh my!
And the
God.
class was like the following day or whatever. And legitimately, it was like we were in the shit on printing labels.
We had to pay the UPS
We did.
Really?
I gave him $200 in cash.
Yeah.
And you were like, please wait.
Yeah. And he
Please
called all his guys.
make sure this gets on the truck.
Okay.
Yeah, Jose took one for the team that day. He got barbecued for that.
He said he got roasted for staying at the house to make sure the packages made on the truck.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
We give him a
really?
kit every week, though.
Yeah.
So he's the man. Yeah.
Is he still working with the company?
For UPS, yeah.
Well, they didn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking, yeah, he did whatever it took to get the fucking packages there at the end of the day. You know? You don't fire that guy. Did you guys ever think that it would get to this level of success? These cooking classes? I mean...
You know, we knew that fresh truffle business had a cap.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
And we're starting to realize that. Because even if you grew it massively, the number of people that you had to have for the amount of revenue you were making didn't really make sense. But then
that was crazy.
The first cooking class we ever did, me and Tyler were on the phone, and you know, sometimes we'll call each other when we're excited about something, and we're like, dude, what could the market potential of this be?
Yeah.
And by this point, you know, we knew how to write business plans and understand, you know, to do a market analysis. And it was the first time that we're like, wow, this could be bigger than we ever thought possible.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the answer is yes. It's like the biggest thing is when you saw the breadth of the different types of people that were doing the class. You know what I mean? You had older people, you had couples, you had kids, you had, you know what I mean? Like literally it was literally the entire US demographic doing it.
Yeah.
And like when you can access that, like, you know, varying types of people, you know what I mean, at different stages in their lives and whatnot, like, that means that the potential is certainly there.
Hey, case in point, WWE.
We had
Boom, worldwide.
Yeah, we like taking inspiration from WWE, applying it.
Hell yeah.
To
that shit works. That man's a G. He's a G.
I think that in that question, the thing that really kind of stuck out for me was we were launching these products.
Yeah.
And we're going to investors, and they'd be like, well, how many people are going to buy this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we had to justify how many people we thought would buy a $20 product of truffle salt or truffle honey.
Uh-huh.
And then when I just kind of rephrased it and asked myself the same questions they were asking me about the cooking class business, right? It's like, how many people want to learn how to make a dish better from the comfort of their own home and have all the ingredients shipped to them and could afford to do it at $50 per person?
Yeah.
And when you ask it like that, it's like, well,
a hell of a lot more.
A lot of people, right?
Yeah.
You know?
So you had better answers to those questions when you went at it from that avenue.
Yeah.
and that's sort of how you were like, okay, this is gonna work.
Yo, if you ever try to pitch someone on a truffle business, I tell you, that shit.
You get left out of the room.
Yeah, you learn to like get kicked in the teeth.
Yeah.
A lot.
And you in business, you see that a lot.
Yeah.
People start about a concept that they can wrap their brain around.
Right.
Right. Like the head of Wrigley started